What is up, my dudes? It's Pac-Man here, and today I'm going to be bringing you guys something a little bit different. It's going to be more of a conversation and just some general advice on why I think a lot of you guys can't seem to crack the higher ranks, or it's at least going to give you a better understanding as to why you aren't improving or where you should place your focus, so that you can move up from where you're currently ranked and make that push for Platinum. So the reason I wanted to make this video today is because I think it's going to go pretty well with the brand new series that I'm announcing, which is called Ore 6 Analysis. It's going to be where I'm taking some ranked gameplay from you guys. I'm going to be watching it live, obviously, and give you guys some specific tips and advice on where I think you could improve. Basically, do some coaching for you. I got the idea from a bunch of you guys in the comments, and I personally think it's a really, really cool idea, and I would love to give you guys some specific advice based on what I'm seeing, in a particular situation. With that being said, I am currently only Plat 2, and although I used to play at a higher level than this, I wouldn't really feel comfortable giving advice to anyone in the same rank as me, so I'll only be accepting gameplay from those who are gold and below, maybe on exception a low Plat player. If you want to be featured in one of these videos, submit your video to the link in the description. Just make sure you fill out the form fully and follow the guidelines. I'm really excited to start this one, guys, so if you are too, I would kindly ask all of you watching this video to consider subscribing. Around 85% of you guys aren't actually subscribed, and my channel is new and upcoming, so literally every single subscription means the world to me. But with that being said, let's not waste any more time and jump straight into the 5 possible reasons stopping you from ranking up. So one of the first reasons I wanted to cover off is weak mechanics. You may be a smart player with great communication and a solid understanding of, general principles of Siege. However, if you lose 90% of the gunfights and engagements that you get into, how do you think your long-term growth is going to look? I hate to say it, but although mechanics aren't everything, without at least fundamentally solid mechanics, you're really going to struggle to make it into the higher ranks without being carried anyway. I understand very well that I'm nowhere near the mechanical skill level of those that are professional or, whatever, famous for their flick shots, but I'm solid enough to the point that I can hit my shots when I need to. I understand how to make myself a hard target when I'm in a gunfight, I understand where to position myself to gain an advantage, and, having this, at least, relatively solid level of fundamental mechanics allows me to comfortably play in mid-plat. However, I'm going to need to improve it if, even further to crack Diamond and so on. And that's the same way you guys got to look at it. Think about mechanics and, understand where you're at mechanically and see if it's holding you back. I am starting a mechanical improvement routine coming this Saturday to try and fill in that gap for me personally, so, I can make that push for Diamond. And once I'm done, I'll post the routine and show you guys the results so you can use it too. So now let's look at the other end of the spectrum. Maybe you are pretty mechanically solid, you're aiming for the head, your crosshair placement is on point, but you're still losing gunfights and rounds because of your positioning and understanding of the game. This can also be referred to as game sense. Even with really strong mechanics, if you have a pretty weak understanding of the nuances of Siege, you're going to struggle to reach Plat or, ranks around there. I'm not saying that every player in the higher ranks is, a game sense god with tier 1 aim, but I am saying that it's my belief that the majority of people who play in, something like Plat 3 and above have a reasonable understanding of things like defensive setups, attacking strategies, droning, spotting weaknesses in defenses, vertical play, good angles, and other things like that. If this is where you feel you're being let down, try spending more time watching Diamonds and Champions play, either through YouTube videos or Twitch streams. I would always recommend watching full rounds though, not just highlights. That way you can see the way they move throughout the entire round and try to understand why they are doing so. Another good tip is to watch more Pro League. This is a great way to understand some defensive setups and attacking strats to, broaden your knowledge base. Otherwise, make sure to subscribe to this channel as that's what we're all about. No, but in all seriousness, there are plenty of ways to get a more in-depth understanding of how the game ought to work. So try watching the best do it to get some tips. So another possible reason for your lack of improvement could be down to the fact that you have a negative mindset. This can take many different forms, one of the most common being a lack of confidence. Maybe your mechanics are solid in T-Hunt, but you choke shots when it really matters. Or maybe you see an opportunity or a chance to punish the enemy team's mistake, but you don't make the call and instead just hold a pointless angle. Being confident in your ability is honestly one of the most important factors to improving and just generally playing well. Confidence is a hard one to teach or train, but I always find that I'm the most confident when I put in the effort. So when I smash out T-hunts before hopping in the game, or when I've been consistently grinding for a few evenings straight, I get way more confident in my ability to frag, and in turn, I get more frags. It's a hard one, but all I can say is put in the effort, and the confidence will come. Some other negative mindsets can include just being generally toxic, hating on players, blaming your teammates for losing rounds and stuff like that. Again, hard one to coach, and look, I'm not a psychologist or anything, but if you are someone that's toxic, be honest with yourself. If you are, or you're someone who never takes responsibility for their own mistakes, smarten up and change that mentality, or go play a different game, because we ain't got no time for that. I'll post a more in-depth video on these topics in the future for a deeper understanding. So maybe you have them superstar mechanics, you have that pro league game sense, and you're a positive person with a great mindset, but you're still not ranking up. Look, in that case, the only reasons that I can think of that might be holding you back include not having a team. I really don't want to go into this one in too much detail, because I've made a full video on it in the past, and I basically talk about it in every video that I post. But let me just say that finding a team to grind with that shares similar goals as you is by far the fastest way to get to the higher ranks. It's really as simple as that. If you want some help finding your first team, you can check out the video I made on the topic down in the description below. So the only other real reason I can think of that might be stopping you from ranking up could be that you just don't have enough time to put into the game in order to improve enough. To be honest, there's obviously not a whole lot you can do about that. If you have commitments, you have commitments, so don't stress too much. I would, however, still think about all of the other topics that I spoke about in this video in order to show you where you should be spending your time wisely, in order to see the greatest improvement. I currently work full time, and I put a lot of energy into this outside of work to try and keep the content rolling. So I don't have as much time to play as I'd like either. But I make it work with what I've got, and I still understand that over time, if I focus my energy in the right way, I'll still improve. And it works for me, so there's no reason it won't work for you either. Just maybe not as fast as it would if you had spare 5 hours every day. So I want you guys to have a think about some of the topics that I covered in this video and see what area might be letting you down specifically. Once you know where you're struggling, you know where you need to focus. Improve your weaknesses and keep grinding, and before you know it, you will simply be too good for your current rank and you're going to start to climb. Let me know down in the comments which topic might be holding you back specifically, and like I said at the start of the video, if you want a chance to get your gameplay reviewed by me and post it to the channel, follow the link in the description below to submit it. So there you have it, guys. Those are the 5 main reasons as to why you're not ranking up. Hopefully you can come away from this video with a better understanding of where you personally need to improve so that you can go away, put the work in, and become a more rounded player. So as always, if you enjoyed the video, smash that like button to show some love. I have another new series starting in the next couple of days, and so many more exciting things to come. So with all that being said, I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.